Welcome to the Station Podcast with Rachel Bowman and Michelle Wheelis.
Welcome back to the Station Podcast. Now that we're in our second season, we did want to circle back and just kind of reiterate why we're doing this podcast. And so I wanted to ask Rachel, what is your heart for this podcast?
Yes. Well, the station, as you can see on our beautiful sign, we have a mission: raising foundations, releasing dreams in a young generation. And what that means is we want people to have strength in their foundation of life so they could step into the purpose that God has for their life and live life healthy and whole. And so we run a mentorship program at the station, and I and my husband get to sit across from individuals and mentor them. And we thought, well, we need to get this out there to more people. And we would love to share with whoever wants to listen to this podcast, because we just thought this would be incredible tools, incredible wisdom for the young generation. And it doesn't have to be just one-on-one mentorship. It can actually be something that resources thousands. And what I see truly as a vision in the station, it's like this gold thread of mentorship. We could also call it discipleship because we're Christians, is running through everything we do at the station. When we meet with individuals, when we do this podcast, when we run our camps, we are coming alongside and we're making disciples of all nations to glorify God and to help people, again, have healthy and whole lives spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and even get healthy rhythms in their life. So that includes the physical part too, right? All four areas of life to become healthy and whole. And so that's why we're doing this podcast, and we're going to continue doing it as long as we feel it is the right thing to do. And I know we have been talking about waiting well in dating, or for dating, I should say.
Yes. Today, we're going to talk about dating well.
Yeah, dating well. And this is a huge topic for young adults. It's like, who do I date? How do I date? Who do I marry? And so in this season, season 2, we're trying to hit topics that really resonate with the young generation. And with this topic, dating well, we want to make sure that everything we say today actually inspires you. This is not a set of policies or rules. This is not a formula to dating, but it's a lot of wise nuggets that we want to hand you today. And I have this quote I found, and it says, if you want to date in a way that honors God, don't start by chasing a person, start by pursuing God. And I think that's really important in dating, to just, first of all, set our mind and our heart on God, because everything flows from that in our life, our relationship with God. We believe that because, again, we're Christians. We believe that prayer precedes everything we do in all the areas of our life. And I really feel that it's so important when you're thinking about dating, when you come out of waiting well. And if you haven't listened to the last episode, episode 4, where we talk about waiting well, please go listen to that first and then come back to this episode. Because we talk about what it looks like to wait well, to prepare our hearts and our minds and our confidence and our boldness for dating. And then when we think about, we're going to step into dating, it's so important to set a strong foundation in our life with God first at the center. And I watch Formula One, and there's this F1 show, and my kids and I love it. And when you watch F1 races, those car races, they have qualifiers, and the first person, or the person who gets the fastest laps, gets the pole position. And so we kind of have a funny saying in our family. It's like, does God have pole position in our lives? And are we giving God that first position, giving him preeminence in our life? And because if we don't let him be at the center of our life and put him first in our life, we could often actually put the person we start dating in that position in our life. And that starts cultivating unhealthy attachment issues. You can read about that. We're not going to go into unhealthy attachment issues today, but they're real. And when we put someone we're dating first in our life, it doesn't start to set the first layer in the foundation of the relationship very strong. And, in the book of Exodus, God gives us his first commandment, and it says, don't put any other gods before him. And we don't want to put any person in our life in the place of God. And I also wanted to read this. Dating isn't about asking God to bless the relationship you already decided on. It's about seeking God first about the relationship that he has for you, because we believe that God has the best for you. Mm-hmm. He has the very best for you. He doesn't want you to settle for less than. And I know, Michelle, like, you want to talk about this person, right? That they choose, because it's important to even their healthy rhythms in life.
Yeah. I think a lot of times when we start dating someone, we get so excited that we just want to spend all of our time with them. Yeah. And I feel like that's, to an extent, that's okay. Like, you want to spend your time with them.
Of course, yeah.
But needing to protect the healthy rhythms that you have in your life, that like, they keep you healthy mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and not giving that time up to spend with someone else, or basically giving up the things that you have in your life to fully be consumed by this other person. Mm-hmm. When you start dating someone, they should add to your life, not take away.
Yeah.
I think that's important to remember. Even having your own relationship with God, when you start dating someone, they should also have their own relationship with God and be able to have their own prayer life, and you have your own prayer life, and then you can come together and both have like relationships with God, but you're partnering together. Sometimes I think in certain situations where, like, say someone starts dating someone who isn't super solid in Jesus, and then you're kind of leading the way in the relationship, and that other person is basically just relying on you. I've had a friend before who ended up getting engaged to a very strong Christian man. She wasn't very solid in her walk and didn't have her own really strong relationship with God, and so was basically just following everything that he said God said to him. Which I do think that's a whole other topic in itself. But I do think, like, you want your own relationship with God because you're going to want, like, God to speak to you about the things that other people are saying that he's saying.
Yeah.
Like, if someone were to come up to me, which this is like funny in the church these days, but if someone were to come up to me and be like, God told me that we're supposed to get married. I'd be like, it's crazy. He didn't say that to me. And so, like, you want to have your strong foundation in God and your strong relationship and connection with God, and you're speaking to him and praying with him. Yeah. And honestly, having that discernment that the Holy Spirit brings going into a relationship, and you're not relying on someone else for that, and you're also not allowing them to kind of take that from you as well. But like circling back, I kind of went on a tangent there. Like, you have your healthy rhythms.
Right.
And
we talk about that in a podcast episode, Healthy Rhythms of Life.
Like, you have your non-negotiables for like how your life looks.
Right.
Someone that you're going to be with is not going to want to, like, impede on your non-negotiables. Yeah. But you also need to stand strong in that and have your boundaries, because if you're just getting to know someone, they're not necessarily going to know what those are unless you've had that conversation already. Yeah. But even then, that's you setting the boundary of, hey, I need my alone time. I need time every single day to read my Bible with my phone on Do Not Disturb. You're not texting me, interrupting my time with God. Right. Kind of thing. So, like, you need to be protective of your healthy rhythms. Yeah. Even if this person is a wonderful human being and you want to spend every single second with them. You like we talk about compromising too, but like you can start accidentally falling into, oh, I'm accidentally letting these healthy rhythms go because I'm giving up time to something else.
Yeah.
So just keeping in mind that when you start talking to someone, start dating someone, your healthy rhythms are important and you need to stand strong in those and have those boundaries.
Yeah. You know, none of us are perfect people. And God knows that. That's why he sent Jesus to die for us. But again, he wants us to be whole and healthy people. And so that's why this is so important, that the person doesn't encroach upon the healthy rhythms that you have that are bringing health and wholeness to your life spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. It's so important. And I wanted to speak to communication because when you start dating someone, this is like the difference. I'm just going to say it because we're Christians. And I would say that this is coming out of our Christian godly values from the Word of God, the Bible. And if you're not a Christian, we want to speak to you too. Our heart is for you too, and to hand you nuggets of wisdom. And communication is key in relationship, whether you're a Christian or not a Christian. But it's just so important to realize that when you start dating someone, it isn't just about physical attraction. Like, that's important too. We're not going to just throw that to the wayside. You should be attracted to the person. But this is the difference, again, between earthly mindset and kingdom mindset. Earthly mindset would say, as long as you're attracted to them, that's all that matters. That's where it all starts, is attraction, attraction, attraction. But I want to say from God's kingdom mindset, communication is key, because that should come first before the physical stuff, because you want to actually get to know who this person is. When you start dating, you are getting to know, most of the time, a stranger or maybe a friend of a friend. And it really should start with friendship, like cultivating friendship, and talking about everything. And this is a quote from me, actually: talk to date to marry to serve God together. Because dating is really a lot about talking. And I say talk about everything. Communication gets us to a place of authenticity. We don't want to be pretenders in a relationship. We can be our best selves for probably about 3 months, I think. And we can pretend for about 3 months. Unless you're really good at it, then maybe you can go to 6 months. But the truth is, you want to get real and honest and authentic as quick as you guys can, and just lay it out there. Who you are, where you've been, your past. Show your real self. And here are some ideas of things, topics that you could start to communicate in when you start dating somebody. You could talk about your beliefs. What's your belief system? Do you have faith? What is your faith? What is your theology about faith in God? You can talk about your core values. Michelle and we mentioned that in the last episode, didn't we?
I like asking people what their pet peeves are.
Yeah.
It's kind of surprising the things that people will say.
I know. We all have the pet peeves.
Yeah, for sure.
My husband leaves his dirty laundry on the ground all the time, and it bothers me.
Yeah. I'm on Hinge because I'm trying to get out there, And one of the guys had put, actually multiple people, their pet peeve is when people chew gum and like the flavor mint. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, of all things. But anyways.
They don't like that minty fresh smell.
Apparently not.
That's funny. You guys should be talking about your futures.
Yeah. Because
we're going somewhere, right? As humans, we're never stuck. We want to look future forward. So you should be talking about your futures together and your dreams. What is the dream that's in your heart? And does the person's dream that you're dating actually complement the dream that you have? Like, if somebody's going to say they want to move and live all the way across the globe in Europe, and all you want to do is live in a farm town in the Midwest of the United States, maybe that's not going to go so well.
Maybe not.
Yeah. That's kind of extreme, but
Yeah.
it makes the point.
Yeah.
It's also important to talk about your past, your sexual history, past relationships that you've had with people in dating, whether you've been married or not married before. We have to remember that our soul, we really believe this, that our soul remembers what our body tries to forget. And so it's really important to not bring this past stuff into the relationship. And the Bible talks about getting stuff into the light, bringing stuff into the light out of the dark spaces of our life. So it's so important just to bring things into the light while you're dating. Now, should this happen on your first date? No. There's some wisdom here. These topics that we're sharing with you to talk about in dating you have to really discern and get wise about where are you at in the relationship. Probably the first 4 or 5 dates you're just kind of talking about life, where you came from. It's kind of surfacey, and that's okay. And about, maybe 7, 8 dates in, you start to go a little deeper and with some of these topics about your past and what you believe, and your boundaries.
Yeah.
Like we've talked a lot about healthy boundaries. And so these are just some ideas of topics that you can communicate about. Again, communication is a key in relationships. So, so important.
Yeah. I do think we have communication, and then I do think it's so important just even pray for the person that you're getting to know.
100%.
Like we have no idea like the full scope of things and what God's full plan is. God gives us pieces, and in dating you see certain pieces of people and no idea if this is going to be a long-term thing or short-term, but even just praying, God, your will in this talking/dating stage, your will for this person that I am talking to, how can I honor them and respect them in this dating season, even if it's just 2 or 3 dates? How can I honor them? And how can I speak to them like the things that you want them to hear? So I think that would honestly, that would be such a cool experience to have. Like I haven't fully done that to this extent, but I've definitely prayed for people I'm talking to, but to have that view of it, of like, if God's going to be using me in this situation, if this isn't a long-term thing, how can I show God's love and how can I honor this person?
Yeah, that's
I feel like that would be like a super cool mindset to have as well.
Yeah. And I just want to add something that just came to my mind with praying for the person helps us to hold the person loosely before God. It goes back to those unhealthy attachment issues that I mentioned at the beginning. Oftentimes when we start dating, we hold on very tight to the person. And also because I mentor a lot of young adults, especially young women, and because I'm a woman, I could speak to this. As women, we tend to read into things.
What?
A lot. Oh, he said this. Does this mean this? Oh, he did this. That means this. And when we're praying for the person, we gain God's wisdom and perspective. See, God gives wisdom generously. It says that in the book of James. And we want to gain that from the Lord. So prayer, again, precedes everything. Helps us to hold the person loosely before our Heavenly Father and say, Jesus, I trust you with my dating relationship. I trust you with this person. And I trust that if this person is not the best for me, you will show me. And you let the Lord lead you. And it starts with praying. And so I also think that it's so healthy to have your community in your life and in the dating relationship with you. It is so unhealthy to isolate. I see so many young couples start to date and they drop all their friendships. They don't even engage that much with their family. Maybe they're too afraid to have the person meet their friends and family. They just isolate themselves in this dating relationship and it just becomes the 2 people only. And I don't believe that's healthy. I believe that, yes, that person, especially when you go into marriage, you're married to that person and you're in your inner circle with Jesus with that person. But as you're dating this person, and even after you're married, you need to have community in your life. You need wise voices in your life. People that love you so much, that are here on the outside looking in at the relationship, and they can see a little better than we can see when we're in the relationship. I often say love causes some blindness.
Yeah.
And so it's important to put these people in our lives or keep them in our lives, and also put other dating couples in your life. Go on double dates, triple dates, with people. Have some fun with others. Continue to go around group situations while you're dating. Yeah. Continue to go to church, Bible studies, home groups, small groups. Go out with coworkers, with the person, and also ask your closest friends, the ones you trust and your closest family members, hey, what do you think about the person? Yeah. How am I being my best self when I'm with this person? Are the best qualities and characteristics of my life coming out, or am I minimizing who I am when I'm with this person? These are some questions you can ask your friends and family.
Yeah. And even like one step further.
Yeah.
Asking for your friends and family to hold you accountable to those core values that you said you had.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes when people do get in relationships and they isolate, it might partially be because they're maybe potentially doing things that they don't want people to see.
Right.
And that shame causes that isolation.
Yeah.
But accountability is so important. It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Being called out. We definitely talked about this in another episode. But yeah, just knowing your boundaries and sharing your boundaries with the people closest to you, the people who are going to see you the most and be able to read your moods and see you heading off to a date, or see you hanging out alone in your room with your boyfriend, or, just those people who you trust, who aren't the type of people that are just going to say things to hurt you in any way. They're the people who are going to speak wisdom into you and remind you of the things that you said were important to you.
Yeah.
That is so important. And it's even more important to swallow the pride that comes from,
that's not easy.
Like the defensiveness that makes you want to just be like, we'll get away and push them away. But those people are the ones that you wanted to help you. Yeah. And to hold you accountable and to share that wisdom. I think that's really important for any healthy relationship.
Yeah. I think that it's a red flag if you have the people you love the most in your life, your family members or your closest friends, sharing some things on their heart that they're concerned about in the relationship, and you go on the defense. That should actually be a sign for you that something is off. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I also really believe along the lines of not isolating yourselves comes serving other people, serving God together and serving other people. And it's so great. Yes, prayer for the person you're dating is important, but also prayer together. You as a dating couple could be praying together about life and others around you and about your future and the purpose that God has for you. And so serving the Lord and serving God's people, is so important. You could get involved in a youth group. You can serve together at a nonprofit organization. You can go to a food bank and feed the homeless together. It actually just helps the heart posture of each person in the dating relationship to be in a place that says, you know what, I want to serve God. I want to serve others. And then you serve each other too. It flows from that, this heart posture of just the servanthood. And I just think too, that it's so important to share your visions about life together. Share your vision for what you want your future to look like, but also your future family. What do you want the marriage to look like? What do you want it to look like once you have kids? Do you share again in these core values together, but do you share in the vision together? How do you carry a vision together too? You could start to practice this in dating. You see, I believe that God brings people together. We get to choose. He doesn't say you have to marry this person or you have to, date this person. He gives us freedom of choice. But when we choose, and we're letting God lead the way and we're putting him first and we're praying about this person, about the people we date, he starts to lead us to a person that's going to actually join us, and together you become a mighty force for God's kingdom on earth. And that is so amazing and beautiful to watch when God puts two powerful people together to further his kingdom on earth and to glorify his name. It is absolutely incredible the impact that couples can have on this earth for the Lord and in people's lives. Like, actually, it changes things on earth when people come together and are a mighty force on earth. And share in vision and know how to carry vision together. I mean, big ministries, like, and I'm not talking big as far as numbers of people, but I'm talking big as far as building God's kingdom, happen when these mighty forces come together. Companies start. Just life changes in people's lives when couples come together and they serve together and they carry vision together well. Yeah.
Yeah. I think... So throughout all of these things that we've shared, these are just some. I'm sure there are more, but these felt like the ones
there's
that
so
were
much. We just can't cover all of it.
We felt like these were like the top ones that were really important when you're starting to date someone. But also trusting like your heart in the process.
Totally.
I think you said it was Pete. This is Pete said this.
Yeah, my husband said this, and I thought it was very wise of him.
When you start dating someone and you're a few months in and you think, yes, they could be the one, but the longer you date, that yes should get stronger, not weaker.
Yeah.
So if you're a year in and it's the same and there's doubt, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
And so I do think sometimes in the beginning of relationships, those red flags do come up and then we just kind of blow past them and don't think about it.
We don't want to see them. Understandably.
Yeah. But if like any of these are like the core, like foundational parts of a relationship. If any one of these is missing and you feel like that actually might make your yes waver, look into that, like follow that like thread of thought, because if this is something that's missing because you know it's going to affect your future in a big way, then it's okay to follow that yes, or follow the no, I guess.
Yeah, follow the no instead of the yes, because the yes got weaker.
Yeah. And so like even like coming from my own experience, because like I said, I am on Hinge, like I've had multiple conversations with people who in the beginning I was like, okay, they love Jesus, or they're Christian and they believe this, this, and this. Okay, that's a yes from me for now. And then continuing to move forward, it's happened where certain things within here, like a core value is missing or some type of theology doesn't align, where my yes gets weaker.
Right.
And even like we stated before, having conversations about like your sexual history or like your boundaries and all of that. I've had those conversations with people, and to be honest, I'm very much in the mindset of, well, I'd rather know now than like spend 6 dates figuring this out. You go at your own pace. But this is just me personally.
Yeah.
I did share with someone, or like I asked what their view on like waiting until marriage was, because I do think that is a conversation that you need to have. And they were like, I actually don't think it matters that much.
To have sex
before marriage. They said, I think it's important to figure out if you're compatible before marriage. And just immediately it was like, no. And I wrote,
that's not your core value, right?
That's not my core value. My core value is that I want to wait till marriage. That is the goal. I know people make mistakes and they don't, like we said, the like core values, sometimes we make mistakes and don't live up to that core value.
Right.
But the goal is that I would like to wait till marriage. And so I had to like circle back in a very honoring way and be like, hey, I appreciated meeting you. Yeah. But to be honest, this is a non-negotiable for me. Sure. And I don't see this going past friendship. Yeah. And that was it. Yeah. And it doesn't need to be a big deal. That was only like day 1. So I can see if you're 6 or 7 dates in, you feel like you've invested something and have to continue on with this. It doesn't have to go further than that.
That's right.
And like, it does not matter. I'm going to go into this, but I did not plan on it. It doesn't, like, as men or women, right? It does not matter how many dates you've gone on. If that yes gets weaker and turns into a no, you don't owe them anything.
That's right. Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. Like, if I feel like sometimes women feel the pressure if a man's paid for her food or like they've done all this. Like, it does not matter.
That's right. Yeah.
You do not need to compromise on a core value because you feel like you owe someone anything, because you feel like they've invested so much, they have a hold on you, or they have this owed to them.
Right.
You can cut it right then.
That's right.
It does not need to go any further.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean to go off on that tangent, but I do feel like it's important to say, like,
I think it's so
it's
important.
okay if you've invested time in this, but you do not need to invest more time.
Yeah. Yes.
If you know that it's a no.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're noticing, even in the communication, like we talked about communication, how important that is, that the communication starts to not go so well and your yes starts to get weaker. It's like, you know what? That's important, that communication is good and healthy throughout lifetime in relationship with people, including dating, that could lead to marriage. And I always say this to the people I'm mentoring. I say, dating is like opening a window, like one of these windows. You just slide it open and you peer through. And engagement is opening the door to the house, and marriage is going into the house, shutting the door and living with the person. So when you're dating, all you're doing is opening a window of observation. You do not even have to put your hand through the window. You don't have to put your head through the window. You're just observing. How does this person operate in life? How does this person treat me? How do I respond, or how do I operate in life when I'm actually dating this person? This is just a window of opportunity to observe for a while. That's what dating is. You are not stuck in a dating relationship. You're really not stuck in any relationship if it's abusive, right? I believe if it's abusive, even in marriage, that you need to go get safe. I always like to mention that when we talk about stuff like this, and in dating and in engagement. Like, you can shut the window, you can close the door at any point if you're in an abusive relationship. But when you think of dating, and let's say it is, it's good, the person's good and things are okay, and the person's a great person and you're a great person, but things just aren't going the way that you expected or what you really want in marriage, your vision for dating, your vision for marriage, then you can gracefully, in love and honor towards the person, have a conversation and shut the window. Yeah. And then you'll date the next person and open another window. And sometimes when we move into engagement and we open the door to engagement, we also may feel stuck, right? But we're not. No one is stuck even though they're engaged, because sometimes in engagement, you actually start to see the true colors of the person even more, because then reality hits, like, oh, I'm going to be with this person for the rest of my life. And engagement is also an opportunity to, yes, either step into the home and live with the person. And we believe in living with them forever in marriage. That is the heart's desire. I believe for everyone, whether you're a Christian or not. But if for some reason before you get married, you're having doubts or you're noticing things that are not healthy, it is okay to shut the door, close the window, and walk away. It's okay. I just wanted to say that because I think it's important. Again, I think people feel bad because they're like, oh my gosh, my parents spent money, or everyone's already been invited to this wedding. But I don't believe anyone's ever stuck, even in engagement. Is there anything else you want to add? Because I want to leave some hope here.
I know. I felt like I went really heavy with the one. And then we're talking about leaving
Me too, a little
relationships.
Bit. But it needs to be said.
It does
right?
need to be said. And
it's reality.
Yeah. And we talk about it in the last episode, but you do want it to be fun.
Yes.
Like, it's not
dating
all just,
should be fun, not stressful.
It's not all just like analytics and you deciding like numbers wise how much they match what your profile is that you want them to match.
That's
or your
right.
preferences or whatever.
No one's going to be perfect.
Nobody's going to be perfect.
Not even you.
And so you that's why you have your non-negotiables and everything flows from that. But like, to be honest, like pet peeves, not necessarily non-negotiable.
Sure.
It's just something to like talk about because it's funny.
Right.
Like if somebody chews gum, that should not be the reason or like a red flag for you.
Right.
But yeah, the whole dating process should be fun.
Yeah.
And so I do think
lots of fun.
I do think if that's lacking, like from the beginning, that already might be your answer.
Yeah, true.
but yeah, I think it is important to remember it is just a window.
Yeah.
And you can close it at any time, just to reiterate what Rachel said.
Yeah.
But it is supposed to be fun. And even just like being honoring to the person you're talking to, I think is important. And honestly, just expecting honor in return, like knowing what you deserve from interactions from a person you're dating.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. It's supposed to be fun. And I think too, and I'm mostly probably going to be speaking to young women here also, when you're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dates, you don't need to start to stress out about, is he the one?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, is he the one? Should I stay in this? Should I not stay in this? There's no stress. There's no reason to be anxious, because honestly, you're powerful. Men are powerful too. You're both powerful human beings, and you can use your voice at any point. You can stay in it if you want to, and you can get out if you want to. You're powerful. You don't have to try to figure everything out within the first few dates and be so stressed out. Just go out on some dates and have some fun. Yeah. And I think my actually advice would be, don't put the physical stuff in at the beginning. Just put the talking in, because that actually helps protect the hearts too. If you talk and you talk and you talk for, 6 months or even longer, you actually just really get to know the person. It's also a lot easier to let go. Yeah. I believe, than putting the physical stuff in. Yeah. And that's my advice. You get to choose what you want to do. Yeah. I want to leave everyone with some hope as we land it here. God is so willing to be in it with you if you let him. And that's your choice also. God has, it says in Jeremiah 29:11, and if you've listened to past episodes, you know this is my life verse. God has plans to prosper you, not to harm you, but to give you hope in a future. And he wants whoever you date and whoever you marry to be part of the hope in the future he gives you. He wants to lead you. And in Galatians 5, it talks about getting in step with the Holy Spirit of God. That means you're in partnership with him. You're linking arms with him. You're letting him set the pace for your life and for your dating relationships. You're letting God be in it with you. He will not lead you down paths of destruction. Again, he wants to connect you to the hope for your future. He doesn't want you to have fear lead the way in dating. If that's happening right now, then maybe you're just not ready to date. You need some time to let go of anxiety and fear for a little bit, get some healing in your heart and in your mindset so you feel strong and powerful, so empowered by the Lord going into these dating relationships. And yeah, we pray. We're going to pray for you if you want us to reach out to us, because we know this whole dating world isn't easy, right, Michelle? I know you're in it. Yeah. And it's not easy right now. It's hard to get to know people. You've got the technology piece. I do think that, that we may get some questions like, do we think dating apps are okay? Yeah. I think they're okay if they're used with wisdom. Yeah. I think that Michelle's been using the dating apps wisely. She hasn't compromised her non-negotiable. She hasn't compromised her core values by using dating apps. She's just been meeting people, going out on some dates, and then deciding if it should go forward past 1 or 2 or 3 dates or not. And so I wanted to speak that too as we land it, because I don't think they're a bad thing, but I do think there's so much wisdom to be gained from God and consistently connecting to the fact that he has hope for your future. And so we will be praying for you. If you want to DM us, you can. And we hope that this gave you some nuggets. Yeah. I like saying nuggets of wisdom for your dating life right now. And if you have questions, shoot us a DM too. Yeah. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode. Take care.
Thank you for joining us for the Station Podcast. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Station Corp, or follow us on Instagram at The Station Corp and at The Station Camp. If you'd like to email us, our email is info@thestationcorp.com.